Hey there everyone, thanks for tuning in. It's your favorite weather guy, Al Roker, here to break down La Niña, a climate pattern that acts like a giant natural air conditioner for our planet. But what exactly does that mean, and why should you care? Let's unravel the mystery together. La Niña starts in the Pacific Ocean, the world's largest ocean, when strong trade winds push warm surface water westward, away from South America. This allows much colder water from the deep ocean to rise up to the surface, a process called upwelling. Imagine a giant conveyor belt moving water and energy across thousands of miles. This patch of cooler water doesn't just sit there quietly, it actually changes the air temperature above it, which then disrupts wind and storm patterns worldwide. The Pacific Ocean is so big that even a small temperature change can have a huge impact on the atmosphere. It's like tossing a stone in a pond. The ripples reach far and wide, affecting weather from Seattle to Miami and beyond. These changes can influence rainfall, droughts, hurricanes, and even the severity of winter storms. La Niña is one phase of a larger climate cycle called the El Niño Southern Oscillation, or ENSO for short. ENSO is like a seesaw with La Niña on one end and El Niño on the other. El Niño is the warm phase when the Pacific surface waters heat up and weather patterns shift in a different direction. La Niña is the cool phase, with colder water dominating the central and eastern Pacific, setting off a chain reaction of weather changes. And sometimes, the Pacific is in a neutral state, neither too warm nor too cool, so weather patterns are more typical and less extreme. These cycles don't happen every year. They come and go every few years, and each phase can last anywhere from several months to a couple of years, making long-term weather predictions a real challenge. Knowing which phase we're in helps meteorologists predict what kind of winter is coming, and even how severe hurricane season might be. It's a crucial piece of the forecasting puzzle. La Niña isn't a storm itself, but it sets the stage for more storms, colder air, or drier weather, depending on where you live. For example, some regions might see more snow, while others could experience drought. It's the background music to our weather, especially in winter, quietly shaping the season's mood and surprises. With La Niña in play for winter 2025-2026, we get our first big clue about what to expect, whether it's more snow, colder temperatures, or unusual weather patterns. So, whether you'll need a snow shovel, an umbrella, or maybe even sunglasses, La Niña is the reason why. It's the hidden force behind the forecast. Let's dive deeper into what this means for you and your local weather this season, so you can be ready for whatever Mother Nature has in store. If you're in the northern US, get ready for a real winter, one that's shaping up to be colder and longer than what we've seen in recent years. The signs are already here, snow piling up on sidewalks, neighbors bundled in thick coats, and the familiar hum of snowblowers echoing through the streets. La Niña often means colder temperatures up north, and this year is no exception. Meteorologists are already tracking a persistent pattern of below-average temperatures stretching across the northern tier of the country. The polar jet stream shifts northward, letting Arctic air spill down into the US. Think of it as leaving the freezer door open. This shift allows frigid air masses to sweep across the region, bringing with them not just cold, but also biting winds and sudden temperature drops. The northern plains, Great Lakes, and Northeast are in for more days below freezing and some seriously frigid nights. Expect to see frozen rivers, icy shorelines, and city streets transformed into winter wonderlands, though not always the kind you want to drive through. This isn't just a quick cold snap. The chill can stick around for weeks. Extended periods of sub-zero temperatures can make even the hardiest residents think twice before heading outside. For the Great Lakes, that means not just cold, but also the potential for intense lake-effect snow. These snowbands can dump several inches, or even feet, of snow in just a matter of hours, making travel hazardous and shoveling a daily routine. Cities like Chicago, Detroit, and Buffalo should brace for a classic bone-chilling winter. Residents will need to dig out their warmest coats, stock up on salt, and prepare for frequent snow days. Inland Northeast areas will feel it most, with relentless cold and snow, while coastal cities might see more variety, mixes of snow, sleet, and even the occasional icy rainstorm, keeping everyone on their toes. Colder weather means higher heating bills and constrained infrastructure. Think frozen pipes, tough travel, and the need for extra caution on icy roads. Local governments and homeowners alike will need to stay vigilant to avoid winter mishaps. While there will be milder days sprinkled in, the overall trend is a colder, longer winter than recent years. The season will stretch on, with winter scenes dominating the calendar for weeks at a time. So, check your heating system, insulate those pipes, and get those sweaters ready. Preparation now can make a big difference when the coldest days hit. La Niña's chill is no joke. Be prepared, stay safe, and keep an eye on the forecast for any sudden changes. There's a lot more winter to come, so let's see what else is in store. Cold air and La Niña go hand in hand, setting the stage for a winter that's both brisk and full of surprises. When these two forces combine, they often mean more snow for certain regions across the country, transforming familiar landscapes into wintry wonderlands. This year, meteorologists are watching closely as La Niña strengthens, bringing the promise of heavier snowfall to many areas that are already used to cold, snowy winters. The jet stream's shift brings an active storm track, funneling moisture and cold air into the Pacific Northwest, Northern Rockies, Upper Midwest, and Great Lakes. These regions are likely to see above-average snowfall, with frequent storms rolling through and blanketing the ground in white. The Cascades, in Washington and Oregon, can get absolutely buried. Great news for ski resorts, snowboarders, and anyone who loves winter sports. All that snow also helps replenish water supplies for the spring and summer months ahead. The Northern Rockies, including places like Montana and Idaho, are also in the snow bullseye. Here, frequent storms will create a classic winter wonderland, with deep snow piling up in the mountains and forests. The upper Midwest and Great Lakes will see more snow than usual, especially from intense lake effect events. These narrow snow bands can dump several feet of snow in just a day or two, making travel tricky and keeping snowplows busy. It won't be constant blizzards, but the total snow for the season will likely be higher than average. Expect to see snow piling up in yards, on rooftops, and along roadsides as the winter progresses. Of course, there will be breaks between storms, periods of calm, clear skies and sunshine sparkling on the snow. These peaceful moments are perfect for enjoying the beauty of winter before the next round of snow arrives. Cities like Minneapolis and Buffalo should prepare for more shoveling, slippery sidewalks, and travel headaches. Residents will need to stay alert for changing conditions and be ready to dig out after each storm. If you're in a snow-prone zone, now's the time to tune up your snowblower, stock up on salt, and keep your boots and shovels handy. Preparation is key to staying safe and comfortable all season long. Winter's coming, and it's bringing plenty of white. Whether you love the snow or dread it, get ready for a season that's sure to be memorable. La Niña draws a weather line across the U.S., wetter in the north, drier in the south. The storm track brings more rain and mixed precipitation to the Pacific Northwest, Ohio Valley, and Tennessee Valley. Seattle and Portland can expect even rainier winters, while the mountains get heavy snow. The Ohio and Tennessee valleys will see more rainy days, which can help water supplies but also raise flood risks. Meanwhile, the southern U.S., from California to Florida, faces a warmer, drier winter. High pressure block storms, leading to more sunny days but also worsening drought and wildfire risks. Less snowpack in the southern Rockies and Sierra Nevada means less water for millions. Agriculture in California and Texas could be hit hard by the lack of rain. So, while the north deals with wet and wild weather, the south will be hoping for any moisture. This north-south split is classic La Niña. La Niña's reach is global, and it ramps up the Atlantic hurricane season. Weaker wind shear over the Atlantic lets more storms form and strengthen, raising the risk for the Caribbean, Gulf Coast, and East Coast. Even before winter, La Niña can mean more hurricanes, making landfall, with all the wind, rain, and flooding they bring. While the Atlantic gets stormier, other regions face drought. East Africa, the southwestern U.S., and parts of South America often get much drier. Drought can mean crop failures and water shortages, creating real hardships. On the flip side, Indonesia and Australia usually get wetter, with increased flooding risks. Warm water in the western Pacific fuels more rain and storms there. So, La Niña shuffles the global weather deck. Some places get too much rain, others not enough. The impacts are dramatic and far-reaching. Let's zoom in on one region in particular. How does La Niña affect Pakistan? It often brings colder and sometimes drier winters. Cold air from Siberia and Central Asia can plunge temperatures, especially in the north. This means higher energy demand and potential power shortages as people try to stay warm. For many, affording extra heating is tough and the cold can be dangerous. Dense fog becomes more common, disrupting travel and daily life. Schools and businesses may close, and accidents rise as visibility drops. Less winter snow in the mountains can mean less water for crops in the spring and summer. La Niña's global reach creates real local challenges. Even far from the Pacific, its effects are felt. Here's a key point. No two La Niña events are identical. Like a family recipe, the main ingredients are there, but the spice varies. Strong La Niñas bring bigger, more widespread impacts. Weak ones are subtler. Meteorologists classify them by how much colder the Pacific gets. The strength of this year's La Niña will shape the winter forecast, so we're watching closely. But La Niña isn't the only player. Other climate patterns like the Arctic Oscillation can change the game. Sometimes these patterns override or enhance La Niña's effects, making forecasting tricky. That's why we talk about probabilities, not guarantees. La Niña tilts the odds toward a colder, snowier north and a drier south, but surprises happen. Every winter is unique, and local variations keep forecasters on their toes. La Niña leads the dance, but it's not the only one on the floor. So, what's the best way to handle a La Niña winter? Stay informed. Long-range forecasts give you the big picture, but local meteorologists provide the details that matter for your neighborhood. Tune in to trusted sources for updates on storms, cold snaps, and changing conditions. The National Weather Service and reliable weather apps are your go-to for alerts and warnings. Set up notifications so you're never caught off guard. Being weather aware means checking the forecast regularly, especially in an active season. It's not about fear, it's about being ready. A few minutes of planning can save you a lot of trouble. Let's wrap up with some practical tips. In the north, winterize your home, check insulation, seal leaks, and get your furnace inspected. Stock up on snow gear and prep an emergency kit with blankets, flashlights, food, and water. Ready your car with good tires, a charged battery, and a winter kit, blanket, gloves, scraper, and snacks. In the south, focus on water conservation and wildfire safety. Clear flammable debris and follow local guidelines. Preparation isn't about worry, it's about confidence. Simple steps now mean fewer headaches later. La Niña's winter can be tough, but you'll be ready. Stay safe, stay warm, and keep an eye on the sky. That's the latest on the weather.